Fuentes, and I'm so honored to be here. First, I want to thank Brian, Ava, Bernard for this beautiful experience and idea of ESMoA. As you know, this is El Segundo's centennial year, and El Segundo prides itself on being the city where big ideas take off. And what a big idea this is, ESMoA. And El Segundo was really founded on a big idea. Over 100 years ago, Standard Oil came and chose our shores to put their second refinery in California. And that took engineers and scientists and business people and artists to design things. And we just keep building on that in El Segundo. And tonight, we have the honor of being with people who have big ideas. And we're surrounded by people who have big ideas. But you know, in some ways, some things aren't really a big idea. You look at Malala, and her big idea was girls should get an education. I mean, that's a small idea that grew into a big idea. So I just want you to all keep your eye on El Segundo because there's going to be some more big ideas coming up. And I want you to know that I have confidence, and stay tuned, that the cure for cancer is going to develop in El Segundo. I want you to mark my words. True. You'll hear. You'll hear. So, again, thank you to El Segundo, the next 100 years, to ESMoA, the next 100 years. So, and thank you all for being here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the Lindau Nobel Laureate Meetings, organization, conference, meeting, however you like to take it, since 1951, that brings together the great minds of their disciplines, of the Nobel Prize winners, with young scientists from all over the world. And if you look around, quite a number of them are kind of older men, gentlemen. There are a few female laureates, but as today is the International Day of Females in Science, I just want to point out how science and female science looks like today. And I'll ask Professor Alponte to join me because she is one of the Lindau alumni. She attended Lindau 10 years ago as a young scientist, and now she is a professor in Baltimore. And thank you. The mayor already mentioned that there are so many bright people and bright minds around, and I want just to point out 3 of them that were photographed by the photographer of all these Nobel laureates, Peter Badke, who is with us today as well. And we have 2 Turing awardees with us, Ed Feigenbaum and Martin Hellman. They are there in the back, so and we have 1 real Nobel laureate with us, and he is one of the very latest ones, and that's why he's in reality here, but not yet on the wall, because when the exhibition started in October, he did not really know that he would be one of the next Nobel laureates. He just got the prize on the 10th of December 2016, so it's just a few weeks ago. And later on, I will ask him how it happened that he got to know about this great honor. But first, I want to say a few words on this exhibition. It's now, since 15 years, an ongoing project that brings Peter Badke around the world to meet these people. And I'm sure Sir Fraser Studdart will mention how he felt when Peter not only called to ask for his picture, but when they met. And you know that we will present a book, Noble Heroes is the title, and it will be out in a few weeks as one of our goals, a joint goal between Peter Badke and the Lindau Nobel Laureate Meetings, was to get all laureates up to the last minute. So he took the last picture on the 29th of December, and then the publisher was not really able to make the book till today, but you can see a little sample of how the book will look like, and it will be out in a few weeks. And then Sir Fraser Studdart will be part of it, and you can already see him in this little booklet that's up on the table in the back. But thank you for being here. Thank you for having us here, Eva and Brian. And last but not least, I should also mention the curator, because he put it in this wonderful setting, which really makes everybody feel like very close or very familiar with the laureates if you walk around and if you just have them on the same level, and you can kind of start in a very personal interview or discussion or meeting. And I think you are saying now a few words, and then I come back with the real laureate you can kind of touch or speak to. Bernard.
Yeah, thank you. Just a few words about this show, because I mean, in the beginning we were not really sure how to show all these wonderful pictures, and it's in the end it's 400 pictures, and we were really thinking, okay, do you really blow them up? How do you show people like this world knowledge, let's say, and very important people? And then we came up with the idea of saying, no, we want to show it in the most intimate way you can think of, and they should almost look like they are part of family, or at least the whole space should look like it's a kind of classroom. And what I like a lot, and over the last couple of weeks, or let's say the last 3 months, I grew more to the idea of saying, actually, this is amazing, and you can actually still talk to a lot of people here, and you can keep them together. And this is also why the whole Lindau event is such a great idea, and to have, like, say, young scientists talking to the most innovative guys we have on the planet, and to have them all in an intimate space where they can really honestly talk and inspire each other. That's something we hope we maybe get into El Segundo, or at least to the west coast of the United States, because I think the whole idea also about alumni and a lot of people who work in computer science, who work in chemistry, who work in medicine, are living in California, and it would be just nice to combine these visuals here and get it alive. So we hopefully will see more of this show, maybe not here, but maybe at other places. I know that the Mars Foundation will be showing it at at their museum at UC Davis, so it hopefully becomes like a really living thing. Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, sorry. One thing I asked Holly, because I think, a lot of people have been to ESMoA, and we had already like crazy things happening here. We even have the Southern California Nudist Association, who always wants once a year to have a day naked in the museum, and they come here. So a lot of crazy stuff is happening in those walls. But I think with this show, we really made a point of showing the connection between art and science. And I would like to Holly to tell a little bit about the reaction of the people and the school kids who were here, because I think it was one of the most successful shows we had in that sense.
Hello, I wrote some notes on my iPhone, so I'm trying to make eye contact and talk at the same time. Thanks. So thank you all so much for coming. I'm Holly M. Crawford, and I'm the lead education specialist at ESMoA. And I oversee educational programming for school, teen, and adult audiences. And it has been my pleasure to explore brain with visitors ages 3 to 93 who have taken part in 200 hours of free programming during this experience. So that's pretty amazing. And at ESMoA, we take great pride in spreading the spark of creativity. That's our mission. And I feel that this experience perfectly encapsulates this. And I'd also like to acknowledge all of our staff that are here and are not here this evening. So thank you, Barbara, Brett, Eugenia, Naila, Kelly, Phil, Natalie, Sarah, Joan, Chelsea, and our amazing volunteers who work so hard to ensure that our programs are free and open to all. And thank you, Peter, so much for letting us, for encouraging us to talk about your work.
Before leaving the floor to Sir Fraser Studdart, I think I should mention one thing. In times where politics and science seem to be not really very close to each other, I think it's a wonderful thing that mayors and city councillors that are interested in sciences come to an art place. And I know at least the two of you I've met before at another event in this at this place. So I think that's really the hope for the future, in connecting, listening to the scientists and giving science a voice also in politics. And now I like to hand over to Professor Stoddart. And the first question, of course, that possibly is of interest to all of you and all of us is, where did you get the message and when to get the Nobel Prize? I mean, did you expect it beforehand? Did you wait, sitting next to the telephone, or how it happened?
Okay, well, I have the real story because I'm the youngest Nobel laureate. I'm only 4 months old, and I'm struggling to actually put a few words together. To answer Nicholas's question, it is 4 a.m. I'm on Central Time. I'm in North Chicago. I'm in Evanston. I'm a professor at... Go Cats, yeah? I'm at Northwestern University. It's 4 in the morning. I'm sound asleep. Before this 5th of October, my assistant had said to me on the previous day, the press office, Fraser, are pressing me to update your details in case something happens tomorrow. And so this had been going on in Northwestern, here at UCLA for 10 years, and also back in Birmingham in the UK since 1993. So I didn't want to hear about this. So I said to Peggy, I'll just tell the press officer to relax. Nothing's going to happen. Okay, so it's just after 4 a.m. The phone rings. What happens when the phone rings in the middle of the night? You immediately think there's some crisis in the family. Anyway, I lift the receiver, and what do I hear but English being spoken with a Swedish accent? Now, what worries everyone in this context is, are you going to be the victim of a hoax? Okay? So I've got to be very careful that you have the scene completely and utterly worked out. And I had the opportunity to eventually hear one of my Swedish friends speak. And at that stage, I realized, Fraser, this is for real. Your life has changed. I did not have time to go into a shower. I did not have time to eat anything. I decided, living alone in a big home in Evanston, that I wasn't going to sit there and be effectively ambushed by reporters. So I was heading for my car at 5 o'clock, and there's somebody coming towards the front door, and it's black, it's dark, and I open it, and I said, or he said to me, he said, can I come in? I said, no, you can't. And I said, who are you? He said, I'm from Reuters. And I said, you're quick off your mark. And so I said, well, I'm going to my office. So he said, I'm coming in the car after you. I'll follow you. So I had this Reuters man for, he had a very privileged 60 minutes on his own before the rest of the world started to pile in. Quite amazing. After that, my assistant came and said, there's going to be a press conference at 10:30, Fraser. They don't think you're well enough dressed. I was not dressed like this. So this gave me the opportunity to get in my car, drive home, find a purple tie. That was another request. If you live in California, finding a tie is difficult because very few Californians have ties. As a Brit, I have 200 or 300 ties, so finding the purple one was also a challenge. Anyway, it was found. I went to the press conference, made some introductory remarks, and I was also very worried about how the press would approach me. And I got a wonderful question from a woman sitting at the front from the Chicago Tribune. She said, "You're going to receive a monetary component to this prize. What are you going to do with it?" Well, I said, first of all, the IRS are going to get a good part of it because I'm not very smart. Got it? So that was, I think, the highlight from the press conference, and that got quite a lot of coverage. I've been on a float at Homecoming Parade. I've had the city of Evanston's key presented to me. I've been to China once. I've been at the side of the Premier of China, Premier Li. I gave a speech in the Great Hall of the People. He then asked me questions for about 15 minutes. After that, we had dinner together, another 60 minutes of one-on-one. So it's been a mind-blowing experience to find out just how the different cultures respond to a Nobel laureate. And, you know, I just want to point out that the Chinese obviously are looking for best practice, we call it nothing else. And I go back again in about a week's time, and I know in Tianjin, where I have a visiting professor's appointment, that there's going to be a spectacle that will not be too different from Stockholm. Stockholm is just an awesome experience. They have obviously, over more than a century now, created something that is full of surprises. And it is just amazing. I took some 80 of my research associates over the years with me, so I've already blown more than half my prize. And we just had a marvelous party. I mustn't go on too much. This is another party, and I think this is mind-blowing. When I walked in here last night, I just could not believe my eyes. And I've since found out that there are somewhere between 396 and 399 photographs displayed around the periphery of this hall, thanks to Peter Badger. Now, I have been, of course, the subject of being badgered, if I may use that verb. It was a beautiful experience in Evanston, in my office, I think sometime in November. And if you want a good reason to really go out there and win a Nobel Prize, I would say it's the opportunity to meet Peter Badger, because you'll never forget the experience, and there it is recorded all around us. I think I've said enough, and I just want to say I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening, and thank you for listening to me.
Well, I was not supposed to speak. It was not part of the program, but first of all, Fraser, thank you so much for your wonderful words. I mean, this was, for me, was one of the greatest experiences to meet you. And Professor Stoddart told me one thing he liked is party, and then I told him he should come down here. And I'm so happy you came, and it's just wonderful, I think, what Brian, Eva, and Bernhard created here, because I just gave the files of my pictures, and I trusted them, and they did the most beautiful experience for me to create this exhibition. And then when I came here a few times and saw the program they were running with the kids and young students, it was so touching to see the 4-year-old kid sitting on the ground and painting the Nobel laureates and get interaction with the Nobel laureates. I took some pictures and then I sent it to some of the Nobel laureates, and they wrote immediately back, "We wish we would be here." So I think this is actually what we were working for 16 years, that we get all the energy from the different angles together to create this place. And I just can say thank you for that you all came here, and thank you to Brian, Eva, Professor Stoddart, Nicholas, the Lindau Foundation, and of course the Turing laureates who came and joined here, because we did the same kind of program with the Turing laureates. And I still believe that the interface between the different disciplines, not only politics and science, but also in science, is a future for all of us. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Please.
Yeah.
Suzanne, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Meet you, yes. And I like your big target, cure cancer.